Hey everybody, this is Kevin over at the letter J, KevinJohnson.com. No spaces in there. How you all doing? How you all doing out there? Just wanted to stop by and say hello, drop in a few words of encouragement, and just kind of speak and shoot the breeze with you for a few minutes, if you would, lend me your ear, and just kind of sit down and talk with me and have a little conversation. I've been thinking about the New World Order and growing spiritually as the New World Order becomes more visible, becomes more manifested and brought to light. It's not so much a secret anymore, but it's becoming more acceptable that the trends, geopolitics and the economy, the voices are screaming, are beginning to sound, are beginning to ask for, or are beginning to look forward solutions from a global and worldly perspective versus the local perspectives that we've been having. So it's no secret that we're already in pretty much a global society. The infrastructure has been set up. Now we're just kind of, I guess you could say, filling in some spots and kind of herding in the masses into this system of world enslavement under the guise of humanitarianism, ecological sustainability, and also a solution to the emerging global debt, the emerging global collapse as far as money is concerned. And also we're on the brink of war too. So just looking at a lot of materials and doing some research myself and reading some books and listening to some speeches. If you have ears to hear and eyes to see, it's very plain that we are being steered and pushed and led and seduced and ushered into a new era, a new way of being for humanity, it's called the New World Order, which is a phrase that's been popularized recently. But it's been around for a while under various ideas and names, and you could trace it all the way back to pretty much the beginning of time, the beginning of man. So this is not a new idea. It's old. It's been around, but in its recent form, we know it as a phrase of New World Order, or a new era, a new age, a new way of being for humanitarianism, which is no more than a phrase that means one world government, one world existence, in which we have a one world government, a one world army, a one world banking system, a one world religious, philosophical theocracy, theological doctrine that on which all this rests, and it's to be it's to be ran by a world ruler, a world dictator. So that's what the phrase New World Order means when you hear it. So don't be afraid of the term. It's just a real simple term representing, like I said, one world government in which humanity comes together, comes together in a perfect harmony, living in a utopia with equal distribution of wealth, and under the management of a AI system, with the help of a technocratic elite managerial system operating for the overarching corporations. So this system is going to be ugly, and it's going to be, as the Bible says, beastly. I ain't going to say going to be, it is. We see, if you look hard enough, or if you don't look hard enough, if you just pay attention and start reading some of the writings of a lot of our key influential people that operate in politics and that operate in the upper echelons of society, that are known as the super. I think they're called the super elite. You can read a book and listen to some speeches and interviews by a guy by the name of Rothkopf. I think it's his name. I'll have to relook up his name and link to it. But that's a more recent one. But the material out there is just mind blowing and mind boggling if you're not aware of this. So, which I know may be the case for many of us. We may not be aware of it, or if we do, it's automatically attributed to conspiracy theory, or to something that's just laughable and not really paid much attention to. But if you read your Bible, you'll see that man has always seeked to rule over other men, and power, influence, and the ability to dictate to others' lives and to profit off of other human beings is always been there. We could see this in a multitude of places in the Bible. We can go all the way back to Nimrod, who was the first world tyrant, the first world ruler after the flood. And we can see a thread leading all the way down through the ages if you want to trace it. So this is not an old idea. This is not a new idea. This is old, and it's been around for a while. But I don't want to dwell on it too much. In that, let's go over a few verses real quick. And today I'm just kind of talking about the New World Order, the beast system of Revelation, looking at Revelation chapter 13 with specifically and some other things. And then also, in view of all of this, not to have fear or worry, but to be hopeful and to have faith and trust and to grow, not only just survive, but to thrive, to grow strong and be a mature saint, a mature believer that lives with power and authority and wielding all the pieces of equipment given to him or her, as spoken of in Ephesians chapter 6, with respect to this spiritual war that we're in. So we're called to occupy until he comes, which means we're called to have an area in this one world government in which the enemy cannot prevail against. And we're to either grow, or we may either lose some space. We may even lose some area if we're not careful and not mindful and vigilant and sober. So this is very important to realize that this war is dynamic, and we are to occupy. We're to fight. We're to struggle. We're to do all the things that we're to do, and we're not just to lay down and be floor mats, so to speak. So some of us are destined for different things, and we all have to know our destiny and what we've been called to do. So I'm just here today just to kind of speak some hope, some encouraging words, and into your life, so that in view of all of this, just kind of reminds you of what's going on in the world. When you look at the news, and when you look at the headlines, and you look at current events, and you look at things going on, that when oftentimes I hear people say, well, what's going on in the world? People are just gone plumb crazy and bonkers. Yes, that is true. And the reason for that is because we are under a spiritual authority who is anti-human, who is anti-God, and who just hates our guts inside and out. So this is why you see the negative, the ill, the scum. This is why you see the not so good elements of our world and society promoted and always pushed to the forefront and rising to the top. Because the goody two shoes got to be placed to the side. They got the people who want the good of humanity, who are operating in the image of the Creator. They got to be put out of the way. So this is the reason why. You don't have to ask it anymore. So just looking at that, let's look at a few verses real quick. Just kind of bring this to your remembrance and remind you of this as you go about living your life and enjoying the time that you've been given. Enjoy the time that you've been given on this earth, because it's not long, and life is too short to be depressed, messed up, suppressed, oppressed. Life is too short to be dwelling in anxiousness and fear, and to be wearisome. And we're not built for that. We're not built to dwell and live in that. We do have the ability to experience it, which adds color to our life, and which helps us appreciate the goodness of life. So we will feel these things and ebb and flow in these areas and these things, but we're not to live and dwell in them. For if we do, it can lead to circumstances that aren't good and that aren't for our betterment, but for our detriment. So just wanted to talk a little bit about that today, but just looking at the nature of things and the ultimate where we're headed ultimately, and that we can't lose sight of, is that we're always being pushed and nudged and seduced, led, forked into, carrot on the stick, led into a Revelations 13 type of world. And you can read it for yourself. But in Revelations 13, we see a system, a beastly system by a beastly man, or beastly inhuman, however you want to look at it, that is leading the world into captivity and is given power over all kindreds and tongues and nations. Looking at Revelations 13:7 and Revelations 13:8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. So if you have an ear today, hear this, so that you'll know, and that you'll be aware and mindful of this battle that it's always ensuing, that it's always acting, it never stops. So just kind of be mindful of this as you go about your day, so that it can help shape, it can help you in your decision making processes. That you make good decisions, not only for yourself, but for your family, your friends, your associates, your community, those who have influence in your circle of influence. So Revelations 13:18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. So you're to have understanding in these things. Often hear believers say that nobody's going to understand it, but we're to have understanding about these things. A lot of this stuff may not come easy at first glance, but which requires time, energy, and effort. It requires time, energy, and effort to learn about what's going on with your latest sports team, or the latest fashions, the latest trends, the latest whatever's going on. It requires your time and attention and focus. Well, likewise, the matters of the Bible, the matters of prophecy, it requires a lot of your time, energy, and effort. So after handling your responsibilities as far as your family and yourself is concerned, you want also at the same time, even more, make sure that you handle your responsibilities with respect to your relationship with your Creator, and so that you can be mindful of all the other things taking place in your life and be in a better position to handle those things in your life. So just looking at Revelations 13 as the foundation of my little thought for tonight, or today, or this morning, or evening, whenever you may find yourself listening to this, Revelations 13. Let's go to Colossians 1:13 too. Colossians 1:13. Let me look at that real quick. I like to bring in a lot of scripture, and that way It won't be Kevin said. And you can kind of look at it for yourself in your leisure and see what kind of conclusions you come up with. We may not come up with the same conclusions, but hopefully over the course of time we can come out with some common denominating doctrines and principles and things that some nuggets of wisdom that will help us along the way. Who hath delivered us from the power of darkness and hath translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son. So we can't forget that this is a struggle between light and darkness. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 4:4. 2 Corinthians 4:4. In whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine upon them. So we can't forget. We have to remember that there is a God, little g, of this world, who hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. So that's one of the things you quickly realize when you come into Christ is you get clear-minded. You get crystal clear-minded perception about clarity about what's taking place with respect to humanity. There's no doubt about it that when you get transferred, when you get translated into the kingdom of light, you realize that you are upside down, inside out, and backwards in the kingdom of darkness. Let's go to Acts 26:18. Acts 26:18. Let me look at that real quick. Acts 26:18. To open their eyes and to turn them from darkness to light and from the power of Satan unto God, that they may receive forgiveness of sins and inheritance among them which are sanctified by faith that is in me. So this is once again, I'm just hammering the point that, this is a spiritual war, and your mind, your spiritual eyes, your eyes have to be open and turned from darkness to light and from the power of Satan. The power of Satan is to blind the minds, the hearts of men to fall under his influence and do his bidding. So this is what the gospel does. It comes to shed light about your situation, and that you actually do need help out of that situation. Christ is the only way out. Let me go to Ephesians 6:12 real quick. Speaking to the spiritual nature overlaying the physical world that we see, the spiritual nature. We cannot forget this. So I just want to hammer this home. For we wrestle not. Let's go up to 11 real quick. Let's go to 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. So not in your might. Remember, you cannot do this in yourself. You're not strong enough. But only in God's might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take you the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. So if you read on, you read about the various pieces of this armor of light. But you have to remember that this is a spiritual war, and that we do need these spiritual pieces, these spiritual pieces of equipment to operate in this spiritual war. We have to be expert in this. We have to grow stronger. We have to grow in maturity with respect to this equipment, with respect to what we've been given, so that we know what to do, how to operate, and that we can walk around in peace, just like Jedi warriors, to bring in the Star Wars reference. Jedi warriors coming in peace, but if you want war, we can give you that too. Whichever one, it doesn't make us any difference, because we're prepared. We prefer peace, but if you want war, we'll give it to you. So just looking at that, I just want to hammer home the nature of the war, and that we're to be vigilant about this. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians 5:6. We got to be mindful of this. And we have to always keep this in the forefront of our minds as we enjoy our life, enjoy our children, enjoy our spouses, our wives, our husbands, enjoy our family, enjoy this present that we've been given. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. So for they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us, who are of the day, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation. So it's, we don't dwell in darkness. So we won't be overtaken like a thief, because we are children of the light. And we can see it. We are of the day. We're watchful and we're sober. We see what's going on. And this is what we're called to do in this world that we live in. So no more do we have to make the statement, what in the world is going on? We see what's going on, and we see that this battle always ensues. You can look at the cycles of man, the huge generational patterns of man that we fall into away from God, and we won't learn the lesson complete. We will not learn the lesson until we're brought to the brink of destruction and saved with interference by the King of Kings, Jesus Christ, the true King. So there's a fake New World Order that we're being seduced into, and the real New World Order, as headed by the Lord of Hosts, is going to have to step in the moment of our a twinkling of an eye, to save us from ourselves, to save us from the little G God and what He's moving us to do. So just want to really just kind of just dwell on that point for a little bit. Let's go to Titus 2:2. I just want to speak some encouraging words, because we all need some encouraging, right? I know I do. First, let's go to, let me see. Yeah, Titus 2:2. That the aged men, but that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity and patience. Charity and patience. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not giving too much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, and on down, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. Young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works and doctrine, showing uncorruptedness, gravity, sincerity, sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. So this is a lot to say. In that in these times we're called to be sober, and which is what the point that I wanted to kind of take home and dwell on at this point in time, and kind of just make sure that we be sober and aware of the times. As I go throughout the Facebooks and the other social platforms and things like that, just kind of looking around, it seems like the gray hairs amongst us aren't dwelling in wisdom like we nostalgically believe in times of past. So, where are the wise gray-haired ones? That's the question. So, you want to become a person of wisdom as you grow, so that you can help the younger generation avoid a lot of our mistakes, and that you can fight and resist this world system that we're being put into. You don't have to go into it, even though we're headed that way. I just want to encourage you that when you follow the ways of the Creator, the ways of God, that He's the patterns that He's hammered out for us to follow, you can live in perfect peace, love, and harmony in this world as it goes to hell in the handbasket, so to speak. You could be like Jeremiah in the end finality of things, and that when Babylon came, when the Babylonians came and took everybody away, Jeremiah had a choice amongst the matter on what he could do. So he was in perfect peace, and there was those who lived and stayed in the land. So Um, God will keep you even in times of judgment, even in times of trouble, even in times He will have you dwelling in Goshen, while the rest of the world dwells in Egypt. To use that to continue the picture, so to speak. If you know the Bible, the reference I'm referencing to is when God delivered Israel out of Egypt, and the Hebrews out of Egypt, and they were dwelling in Goshen, living in perfect safety and perfect peace, while everybody else was dealing with the wrath of God in so many terms. You know what I'm to say. So you could live in perfect peace while others are falling under judgment for whatever reason the reason may be. So do your best, let God do the rest. Remain hopeful, stay strong, be vigilant, grow in prayer. Get your war closet, so to speak, and get your prayer in. Get your prayer closet. Growing your relationship not only with Christ, but make sure you grow in relationship and frequent the friendship and frequent the presence of other believers often. So that's how you get your strength, whether you're that type of person or not. Put good music in your life, good spiritual uplifting music in your life that's going to encourage you. Post good encouraging things online. Whatever you have to do to stay positive. Make sure you get a good belly laugh in every day. I'm talking about a good hearty belly laugh in every day. Just, take a moment to enjoy nature. Eat some good food. Sit down and just eat some good food. Don't always be on the run eating fast food and stuff like that. Dwell on some good things. Have some good satiating conversation. Let go and dump those negative emotions and those negative thoughts. So these are things that you could do to help you along the way and help you grow in your spirituality and help you grow and mature into perfection, which is maturity, not talking about doing everything 100% right, because if you fall, you do have an advocate. But at the same time, the Spirit of God can sustain you and keep you from falling. So I just want to give some encouraging words today to you, kind of speak a little bit into your ear. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for just listening and stopping by. If you would, hit like. If you would, follow me. And help join this tribe, help form a tribe, a community of hope, encouragement, and laughter and fun, and just living and thriving and enjoying this life that we've been given. As we grow, and let us grow together. So thank you for joining me. This is Kevin over at jkevinjohnson.com. That's the letter J, Kevin Johnson with no spaces. .com for encouraging articles, entertaining articles, just pieces of thought and op-ed pieces. So just come in and drop your comments. Let's say hello. Thank you, and may His face shine upon you, give you peace, and be gracious unto you. And peace out.